but confused, unsure of what I am, and thus conflicted in my actions. No one can serve contradictory goals and serve them well, nor can he function without deep distress and great depression. Let us therefore be determined to remember what we want today, that we may unify our thoughts and actions meaningfully, and achieve only what God would have us do this day. Father, forgiveness is your chosen means for our salvation. Let us not forget today that we can have no will but yours, and thus our purpose must be yours as well, must be yours as well. If we would reach the peace you will, the peace you will for us, let me remember what my purpose is. 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 And what's our purpose? We're supposed to remember what our purpose is. Well, be peaceful, be happy, use forgiveness. Father, forgiveness is your chosen means for our salvation. Let's just look at it real quick. I'm Miracle Willie, forgiveness teacher from the Ozarks, and we're on lesson 257. Let me remember what my purpose is, here on Friday, September 13th of 2024. We're reading from the Foundation for Inner Peace version. Almost said from the original edition. We've done that a couple years. Let me remember what my purpose is. If I forget my goal, I can be but confused, unsure of what I am, and thus conflicted in my actions. No one can serve contradictory goals and serve them well, nor can he function without deep distress and great depression. Let us therefore be determined to remember what we want today, that we may unify our thoughts and actions meaningfully, and achieve only what God would have us do this day. Father, forgiveness is your chosen means for our salvation. Let us not forget today that we can have no will but yours, and thus our purpose must be yours as well, if we would reach the peace you will for us. Let me remember what my purpose is. And we're supposed to think about that every hour of the day, at the top of the hour, best you can. Let's try to remember to do that. And while we take those hourly pauses, take a moment, if you can, close your eyes. If you can't, well then just bring it to your memory. You can find something to give God thanks for and ask for direction until the next quiet moment, an hour later. And then be sure to do your 2 morning and evening longer periods of quiet today, telling yourself, let me remember what my purpose is. And then back a few pages, what is sin? Our associated reading, sin is insanity. It is the means by which the mind is driven mad and seeks to let illusions take the place of truth. And being mad, it sees illusions where the truth should be and where it really is. Sin gave the body eyes, for what is there the sinless would behold? What need have they of sights or sounds or touch? What would they hear or reach to grasp? What would they sense at all? To sense is not to know, and truth can be but filled with knowledge and with nothing else. The body is the instrument the mind made in its efforts to deceive itself. Its purpose is to strive. Yet can the goal of striving change, and now the body serves a different aim for striving. What it seeks for now is chosen by the aim the mind has taken as replacement for the goal of self-deception. Truth can be its aim as well as lies. The senses then will seek instead for witnesses to what is true. Sin is the home of all illusions, which but stand for things imagined, issuing from thoughts that are untrue. They are the proof that what has no reality is real. Sin proves God's Son is evil. Timelessness must have an end. Eternal life must die. And God himself has lost the Son he loves, with but corruption to complete himself, his will forever overcome by death, love slain by hate, and peace to be no more. A madman's dreams are frightening, and sin appears indeed to terrify. And yet what sin perceives is but a childish game. The Son of God may play he has become a body, prey to evil and to guilt, with but a little life that ends in death. But all the while his Father shines on him and loves him with an everlasting love, which his pretenses cannot change at all. How long, O Son of God, will you maintain the game of sin? Shall we not put away these sharp-edged children's toys? How soon will you be ready to come home? Perhaps today? There is no sin. Creation is unchanged. Would you still hold return to heaven back? How long, O Holy Son of God? How long? Okay, and let's go back and take a look in our text reading for today. And we're in chapter 28, The Undoing of Fear. And we're ready for section 2, Reversing Effect and Cause. And let's see, take along with you, of course, this idea. Let me remember what my purpose is. And what's going on around the world today from holidays and observances, I found Bald is Beautiful Day, Blame Someone Else Day. Well, we're learning that blame is never necessary, not useful. It just makes us go more and more blind. Matter of fact, next time you feel blame, think about how much that you don't want to project onto someone else your problem. You want to go inside, find out where's your erroneous thinking? You might feel very justified in what you're doing, and you may actually in this world need to put some kind of change in the world because of what was done. That's not blame. That's just living your life, cause and effect. I don't see any problem with that, as long as you're following your peace. If you're trying to blame and not following your peace, that's where the problem is. So, Blame Someone Else Day, not. Fortune Cookie Day. Friday the 13th, if you're a superstitious person, Friday the 13th, and look what else is today. Defy Superstition Day. You may not want to believe your fortune cookie either, huh? Defy Superstition Day. Chocolate Day. Kids Take Over the Kitchen Day. Yeah, sometimes give your kids just a chance to cook. I remember Melody, my youngest daughter, one time she was making some cookies, and she thought that a teaspoon of salt, or whatever it called for, a tablespoon or a teaspoon, was a cup. And she put a cup of salt in the cookies. And me being kind of economically minded in those days, particularly as a young father, Mom had already crossed over, and she was trying to cook cookies, and they were very, very salty, obviously. And so we all got a big laugh, and then I put all the cookies, crumbled them up, put them in a jar, and set them out on the table. I said, okay, from now on, if you guys need salt, use Melody's cookies. Doodle Day, Hug Your Boss Day, Peanut Day, the Ericus hypogea. So, you can grow peanuts. Might be a nice thing to try to grow if you eat a lot of them. Positive Thinking Day. And, of course, we ought to always be optimistic that, we're the eternal optimists with A Course in Miracles. We always see the good in everything. That's what heaven's all about. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. You be an eternal optimist. Be a positive thinker. Roald Dahl Day. He was a British children's book author. He was born on this day in 1916 and died in 2023. Scooby-Doo Day, Skeptics Day International. Be good to be skeptical about Friday the 13th superstition and And anyway, let's see. Snack a Pickle Day, Stand Up to Cancer Day, Uncle Sam Day, and Supernatural Day. Supernatural, those things that are beyond the obvious. We're learning about that in Course of Miracles. And you also, I used to, when I build houses that are highly insulated, using all natural materials the best I can, like the straw bale, I call those supernatural homes. Kind of a dual play on words. And then out of edible landscaping, we've got the Corylus americana, which is the Filbert. And today the Filbert we're going to look at is the Native American Filbert. And it says of the Native American Filberts are pretty hedge bushes 6 to 8 feet tall, native to the eastern U.S. 2 plants are needed to set fruit, very showy catkins in spring, sweet small nuts ripen in August, space 6-foot circles, zones 5 through 8. It says you make a nice hedge too. Otherwise, place them about 6 foot apart. If you're going to make a hedge, you might want them a little closer, probably 3 or 4 feet, I would imagine, but I don't know. Do your research. Okay, let me remember what my purpose is, and now let's go right into our reading. In chapter 28, The Undoing of Fear, section 2, Reversing Effect and Cause. Without a cause, there can be no effects, and yet without effects, there is no cause. A cause is made by its effects. A cause is made by its effects. The Father is a father by his Son. Effects do not create their cause, but they establish its causation. Thus the Son gives fatherhood to his Creator and receives the gift that he has given him. It is because he is God's Son that he must also be a father who creates as God created him. The circle of creation has no end. Its starting and its ending are the same, but in itself it holds the universe of all creation, without beginning and without an end. Paragraph 2. Fatherhood is creation. Love must be extended. Purity is not confined. It is the nature of the innocent to be forever uncontained, without a barrier or limitation. Thus is purity not of the body, nor can it be found where limitation is. The body can be healed by its effects, which are as limitless as is itself. Yet must all healing come about because the mind is recognized as not within the body, and its innocence is quite apart from it, and where all healing is. Where then is healing? Only where its cause is given its effects. For sickness is a meaningless attempt to give effects to causelessness and make it be a cause. There's no real cause for sickness, is what he's saying here. For sickness is a meaningless attempt to give effects to causelessness and make it be a cause. Only in the world of illusions can sickness have a cause. But remember, it's an illusion. It's a make-believe. Paragraph 3. Always in sickness does the Son of God attempt to make himself his cause and not allow himself to be his Father's Son. For this impossible desire, he does not believe that he is love's effect and must be cause because of what he is. The cause of healing is the only cause of everything. It has but one effect, and in that recognition, causelessness is given no effect and none is seen. A mind within a body and a world of other bodies, each with separate minds, are your creations. You, the other mind, creating with effects unlike yourself. And as their father, it's in quotes, you must be like them. Let's read that again. A mind within a body and a world of other bodies, each with separate minds, are your, in quotes, creations. You and, in quotes, other mind, creating with effects unlike yourself. And as their, in quotes, father, you must be like them. Because it's not really your father, and it's not really your creations, and it's not really the other mind. Okay, let me read it again. A mind within a body and a world of other bodies, each with separate minds, are your creations. You, the other mind, creating with effects unlike yourself, and as their father, you must be like them. Paragraph 4. Nothing at all has happened but that you have put yourself to sleep and dreamed a dream in which you were an alien to yourself and but a part of someone else's dream. The miracle does not awaken you, but merely shows you who the dreamer is. It teaches you there is a choice of dreams while you are still asleep, depending on the purpose of your dreaming. Do you wish for dreams of healing or for dreams of death? A dream is like a memory in that it pictures what you wanted shown to you. And of course, we want dreams of healing, not dreams of death. Paragraph 5. An empty storehouse with an open door holds all your shreds of memory and dreams. Yet if you are the dreamer, you perceive this much at least, that you have caused the dream and can accept another dream as well. But for this change in content of the dream, it must be realized that it is you who dreamed the dreaming that you do not like. It is but an effect that you have caused, and you would not be cause of this effect. In dreams of murder and attack, are you the victim in a dying body slain? But in forgiving dreams, is no one asked to be the victim and the sufferer? These are the happy dreams the miracle exchanges for your own. It does not ask you make another, only that you see you made the one you would exchange for this, that you're the dreamer. It's not being done to you. You're making the world you see, is what he's saying. Paragraph 6. The world is causeless, as is every dream that anyone has dreamed within the world. No plans are possible, and no design exists that could be found and understood. What else could be expected from a thing that has no cause? Yet if it has no cause, it has no purpose. You may cause a dream, but never will you give it real effects, for that would change its cause, and it is this you cannot do. You're safe even if you don't think you are. Even if you dream, you're not safe. The dreamer of a dream is not awake, but does not know he sleeps. He sees illusions of himself as sick or well, depressed or happy, but without a stable cause with guaranteed effects. Paragraph 7. The miracle establishes you dream a dream, and that its content is not true. This is a crucial step in dealing with illusions. No one is afraid of them when he perceives he made them up. The fear was held in place because he did not see that he was author of the dream and not a figure in the dream. He gives himself the consequences that he dreams he gave his brother. He gives himself the consequences that he dreams he gave his brother. And it is but this the dream has put together and has offered him to show him that his wishes have been done. Thus does he fear his own attack, but sees it at another's hand. As victim, he is suffering from its effects, but not their cause. He authored not his own attack, and he is innocent of what he caused. The miracle does nothing but to show him that he has done nothing. What he fears is cause without the consequence that would make it cause, and so it never was. 8. The separation started with the dream the father was deprived of his effects, and powerless to keep them since he was no longer their creator. In the dream, the dreamer made himself, but what he made has turned against him, taking on the role of its creator, as the dreamer had. And as he hated his creator, so the figures in the dream have hated him. His body is their slave, which they abuse because the motives he has given it have they adopted as their own, and hate it for the vengeance it would offer them. It is their vengeance on the body which appears to prove the dreamer could not be the maker of the dream. Effect and cause are first split off and then reversed, so that effect becomes a cause and cause an effect, and cause effect. Paragraph 9. This is the separation's final step, with which salvation, which proceeds to go the other way, begins. This final step is an effect of what has gone before, appearing as a cause. The miracle is the first step in giving back to cause the function of causation, not effect. For this confusion has produced the dream, and while it lasts, will wakening be feared. Nor will the call to wakening be heard, because it seems to be the call to fear. So remember, what you're going to send out is going to come back to you. So if you're angry with someone and you're trying to usurp the power of God and run your own life, you'll believe that's being done to you. And if and like I said, if you send some negative quality, like you hate someone out, then someone's going to hate you. And of course, hate's just the beginning of murder. Okay, paragraph 10. Like every lesson that the Holy Spirit requests you learn, the miracle is clear. It demonstrates what He would have you learn, and shows you its effects are what you want. In His forgiving dreams are the effects of yours undone, and hated enemies perceived as friends with merciful intent. Their enmity is seen as causeless now because they did not make it, and you can accept the role of maker of their hate because you see that it has no effects. Now are you freed from this much of the dream? The world is neutral, and the bodies that still seem to move about as separate things need not be feared, and so they are not sick. Paragraph 11. The miracle returns the cause of fear to you who made it, but it also shows that having no effects, it is not cause, because the function of causation is to have effects, and where effects are gone, there is no cause. Thus is the body healed by miracles, because they show the mind made sickness and employed the body to be victim or effect of what it made. Again, key idea. Thus is the body healed by miracles, because they show the mind made sickness and employed the body to be victim or effect of what it made. Yet half the lesson will not teach the whole. The miracle is useless if you learn but that the body can be healed. For this is not the lesson it was sent to teach. The lesson is the mind was sick that thought the body could be sick, projecting out its guilt, caused nothing, and had no effects. Let's make sure we get this. Let me read it again. The lesson is the mind was sick that thought the body could be sick, projecting out its guilt, caused nothing, and had no effects. And then the last paragraph finishes this section, 12. This world is full of miracles. They stand in shining silence next to every dream of pain and suffering, of sin and guilt. They are the dream's alternative, the choice to be the dreamer rather than deny the active role in making up the dream. They are the glad effects of taking back the consequence of sickness to its cause. The body is released because the mind acknowledges, this is not done to me, but I am doing this. Wow, catch that. The body is released because the mind acknowledges, this is not done to me, but I am doing this. And thus the mind is free to make another choice instead. Beginning here, salvation will proceed to change the course of every step in the descent to separation until all the steps have been retraced, the ladder gone, and all the dreaming of the world undone. That's what we want right there, the dreaming of the world undone. And we use the practice of forgiveness. Take responsibility. Know that you're the maker of what's happening in your world. Even if it seems to be your brother doing it to you. That's simply your dream playing out in your brother. Let me remember, what my purpose is. Let me remember, what my purpose is. Let me remember what my purpose is. Let purpose is. If I forget my goal, I can be but confused, unsure of what I am, and thus conflicted in my actions. No one can serve contradictory goals and serve them well, nor can he function without deep distress and great depression. Let us therefore be determined to remember what we want today. Let us therefore be determined to remember what we want today, that we may unify our thoughts and actions meaningfully and achieve only what God would have us do this day. Let me remember what my purpose is. Let me remember what my purpose is. Father, forgiveness is your chosen means for our salvation. Father, forgiveness is your chosen means for our salvation. Let us not forget today that we can have no will but yours. Let us not forget today that we can have no will but yours. And thus our purpose must be yours as well. It must be yours as well. If we would reach the peace you will, the peace you will for us, let me remember what my purpose is. 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 And our word for peace is out of the Azerbaijani language of Azerbaijan, which is that landlocked country or area between Eastern Europe and Western Asia. And the word, it's S-U-L-H, and I'm going to say it's Sulh. That's how we're going to say it. Anyway, I couldn't find the pronunciation online anywhere. So, Sulh be with you for peace. Let me remember what my purpose is. Sulh.